Well, howdy friends, Brian Flechsig of Mad River Outfitters and the Midwest Fly Fishing Schools, and welcome back to another episode in our Q&A series. And as always friends, we appreciate the questions. In fact, we live and breathe for your questions, and that's true because we need you to exist as a fly fishing shop. Thanks for joining us, and we always appreciate your questions. And if we happen to pick your question to be read here on the YouTube channel, we're going to send you out a Mad River Outfitters hat and a fly box. Let's jump right in today. We got a quick one, but it's an important one. Sergio from Pueblo, Colorado. And Sergio, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Sergio writes, "Hello, Brian. Thank you so very much for every instructional video and Q&A sessions. Such help for all of us mortals." Well, appreciate that, and I'm one of you. I have watched your entire playlist on leaders and videos on streamers. However, I can't find a compilation on advanced streamers. Would you be so kind and enlighten us about streaming setups and rigs? Your didactics on the whiteboard, didactics, I don't know that word, but it's cool. I'm gonna look it up. Your didactics on the whiteboard carry such value for photographic memory. I need help with the following streamer setups: floating line, leader, sinker, knot, fly, and tactics; sinking tip, leader, sinker, knot, fly; full sinking line, leader, knot, fly, and tactics. In my location in Colorado, I have multiple species and also lakes and rivers. Any suggestion will be very useful. Thank you so much. All right, Sergio, here you go. I got the whiteboard out just for you. And so here's what we're gonna do. This is really easy. Let's remember that streamer fishing is contact fishing, meaning that we throw the fly out there, that energy goes all the way down the fly line, goes down the leader, straight to the fly. The leader straightens out perfectly, the rod comes down, and we have contact with the fly. Okay, we're moving that streamer in almost all cases. So the floating line. So a floating line leader, okay, let's go over this. So for a floating line leader, we use something called Maxima Clear or equivalent. It's a fairly stiff monofilament, and it's what we use off of floating lines. So your butt section of your leader can be as long or short as you want. I tell you what. Let me stop right there. Let me go grab a couple of those leaders off the wall. Okay, so this is if you're tying your own. Your butt section can be as long or short as you want and matches the fly line in stiffness. I mean, most streamer leaders off of a floating line are probably going to be in the ballpark of 6 or 7 foot. Your tippet is going to match the fly and the fish. It must be stout enough to make the cast, and then it must be strong enough to survive the fight of the fish. And then your midsection is going to, and your tippet is typically going to be about 18 inches or so, maybe a little shorter with streamers. Your midsection is going to split the difference diameter-wise, and it's going to be about 18 inches. Okay, so if your butt section, let's say it's a 6 weight, and your butt section is probably somewhere in the ballpark of 0.020, 20 thousandths. Depends on the taper and the grain weights exactly, but let's say it's 20 thousandths. And then let's say your tippet is 12 thousandths. Very rarely for streamer fishing, for large Kelly Gallup style streamers, Blaine Chocolate style streamers, I'm rarely going to go thinner than 12 thousandths. So my midsection would probably be 15 thousandths. Really simple. It splits the difference or thereabouts. If you can't split the difference perfectly, err on the thinner side. So my butts, if you want this to be a 7 foot leader, well, subtract 3 foot. So your butt sections will be 4 foot, 18 inches on your mid, 18 inches on your tippet. If you don't want to tie your own leaders, well then get these Cortland streamer leaders. These Cortland streamer leaders, actually Flip Pallet works with Cortland, Kelly Gallup now works with Cortland, and we actually consulted with them on developing these leaders, and they have butt sections that work a lot better than their competitors. They actually listened to us. So kudos to Cortland, but this is the 7 foot that you might use on a floating line. So here's how you build your own. There's the one that you can buy. Pre-made. The pre-made, yeah, sorry. And I forgot to get an eraser. So, and then the only other rigging thing is if you need to add split shot. Okay, and I typically add split shot. You're going to use your hemostats to pinch split shot onto your tippet, and I usually go about 4 to 6 inches from the fly. So 4 to 6 inches up from the fly. I keep the weight close to the fly. It's a kind of a rule in fishing that you always want your weight source as close to the bait as possible without being right up on it. So usually about 4 to 6 inches, somewhere in that ballpark. It's not overly technical. Remember that the closer the split shot is, the more effect it's going to have. If the split shot's up here, that fly might be riding up here if it's not overly heavy. So 4 to 6 inches is kind of our general rule for putting split shot. And then you mentioned a tactic. Throw the fly in the water and make it swim like it's trying to get away. Rod down, line under the index finger, and make it swim. That's it. That's the only tactic that there is when it comes to streamer fishing. Throw it in the water and make it swim like it's trying to get away. Well, howdy friends, and sorry to interrupt, but just want to point out again that here at Mad River Outfitters, we have never taken on sponsors. We don't have companies that are paying us big sums of money to promote their products to you. Everything we do is organic. So we depend on you for support. Maybe think about going over to madriveroutfitters.com. We just got in some new hats, and maybe think about picking up a Mad River Outfitters hat or two. A little bit goes a long, long way. So let's get back to the video. So for sinking line, sinking tips, for intermediate lines, for full sinking lines, it's all the same story. And it's the same formula. If you're tying your own leaders, now I do switch to Maxima Ultra Green. It just tends to work a lot better. It's a little more camouflage than clear, but I use Maxima Ultra Green for sinking lines. Again, sink tips, doesn't matter. Intermediate tips, intermediate lines, full sinking, sinking heads, doesn't matter. Your butt section is going to be 2 foot. It's also going to match the fly line in stiffness, same story or thereabouts. You got a 1 foot mid section that splits the difference diameter wise. I'll probably attach a barrel swivel right here. And then you've got 1 foot of tippet. Easy. And that tippet, same story. Butt section matches the fly line. The mid section splits the difference diameter wise between the butt and the tippet is matched to the fly. Again, I'm almost always fishing 12 thousandths, maybe 14 thousandths if it's a giant fly, maybe 10 thousandths if it's a smaller woolly bugger or something. If you do need split shot, which you typically don't with a sinking line, again, I'm going to go 4 to 6 inches from the fly. And a cool little trick, a really neat little trick that you can do is, I've been doing this a lot, is you can put before you tie on your swivel, slide a bead head. You know, one of the larger bead heads that's used for fly tying, either brass or tungsten, slide it onto your midsection. The swivel stops it from sliding down onto the tippet, and it serves as a slip sinker. And who knows, it might even provide a little bling that might get the fish's attention, and then he sees your fly. I don't know if that's true, but it helps for that leader to sink a little bit better as well. I don't use fluorocarbon for these because I don't have to. The line sinks the fly sinks. The fly and the line pull that leader down, so you don't need fluorocarbon. I personally don't know anybody that really uses fluorocarbon. I know Kelly Gallup doesn't. There's just Johnny McClure. All of my streamer heroes just use Maxim Ultragreen. If you are looking to buy, again, Cortland does a 4-foot version of those same streamer leaders. You can find those on our website. So Sergio, there's only 2 leaders that you need to know. You're going to attach some split shot if it's a floating line, and that's really about it. And then you're going to get yourself this book, Modern Streamers for Trophy Trout. And you've got to, after you watch this video, go right to our website. If you're going to buy some leaders, buy these. If you're going to build your leaders, buy some Clear and some Ultragreen Maxima, and then buy this book also. Read this book, and then read Modern Streamers for Trophy Trout too. And you'll be done. You'll be well on your way, and you will be a streamer guru yourself. So I hope that helps. Sorry so long-winded. But that wasn't my worst. So I think we nailed that pretty quickly. I hope that helped, Sergio, and appreciate you being here. And I'm going to go look up the word didactics. I'm not the smartest guy out there, but I like that word. I'm gonna be using that in future videos. So as always, watch your mailbox for a hat and a fly box, and we appreciate you being here. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you don't miss a Q&A episode or any episode that we put out. And we appreciate your support. We don't have sponsors, so we depend on you, our wonderful viewers and customers, to help us keep this whole thing going. Subscribe to our YouTube, hit the like button, hop on over to our website, register for our newsletter, and stay tuned. We've got a ton more fly fishing content coming your way.